What if I told you that there is this one drink that can energize you like matcha, but is not matcha, can give you the immunity at least 1,000 times more than any other herb, has a strong anti-inflammatory action, and can give your skin the glow up it needs? Stay tuned because this is that groundbreaking recipe that is going to change your matcha game altogether. Welcome to Fix Your Ahar series by Maharshi Ayurveda, where food is medicine. And today we are blending East with East, bringing the matcha of Japan to the moringa of Bharat. Today we are making our very famous Sridoshik Moringa matcha drink. For this recipe, you need just a bunch of ingredients which are listed on the screen, and honestly, this is one of the easiest caffeine-free recipes that are there. If you don't know, the original matcha from Japan actually is a form of green tea which has a lot of caffeine, and Ayurveda is not a big fan of caffeine. So I have created a very special drink for you because I want you to heal just like we say in Ayurveda. And today we are blending the matcha concept with the Indian Ayurveda and giving you the best tasting drink that you can serve your guest as well as at home. Now we start with our main ingredient of the matcha recipe, which is moringa. Now this green brownish powder is the moringa leaf powder, and other parts of moringa are also used in Ayurveda and in food. If you're using drumsticks, that is also equally good, but all of these parts of the plant have different effects in your body. Particularly moringa leaf powder is ushna, tikta, as well as katu. That means it is pungent in taste, it is warming to you, and has the energy to give your body the healing it needs. This power-packed herb gives you a great amount of strength and stamina. It is also very good anti-inflammatory. It is a great immunity booster, and if you just want to give it to your kids as well, a little bit amount in their rotis and in their matcha, if you'd like to, can also be given. I'm going to start with about 3 teaspoons of moringa, and I'm taking a little extra right now because I'm going to make a lot of matcha. This is half teaspoon, so I'm going to add it 6 times, which is making it 3 teaspoons. The next thing that I'm going to do is add a little bit of water so that I can do my little matchaing. So the taste of moringa kind of tastes a little bit like mehndi in India, but most of the times that I've used moringa powder in my recipes, you actually can't taste much of it. The reason being that you need a lot of it to taste better. That's why it's very easy to actually slip into your rotis, slip into your dosas. And it's a great ingredient to be added to any other recipe that you'd like. Now, let's add a little more water till the time it comes to consistency that I'd like it to be. Right, you see that it's still dripping a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit of coconut milk to this mixture to make it more creamy. All right, my moringa mixture is ready. Now that I've prepared my moringa paste, I'm going to start preparing the base of this matcha drink. Here are my matcha cups ready for me to start. So the addition of mango to this drink actually brings a very nice flavor. The reason that we have such varied ingredients in this drink is because we want to make it vata, pitta as well as kapha balancing. That's why you'll have a very warming moringa, whereas a very cooling coconut milk with it. Let's start with the next set of ingredients. I have about 2 cut mangoes, which I'm going to start filling my drink with. Now the second one. It is very important that we always eat our cut fruits within a minute or 2 after cutting them, and that's why this was the last step of our preparation, because cut fruits should not be kept open or should not be used after 1 or 2 minutes. It's very easy for them to get oxidized. So the fruits should be freshly cut and should be freshly used right there and then. Now we get our next ingredient in this matcha drink, which is coconut milk. Coconut milk has very nourishing properties like I mentioned before. It is very good for Vata as well as Pitta balancing. It is quite a nutritious meal of its own, and that's why in the south part of India, a lot of recipes actually use coconut milk. They're very good for the gut, very good for healing, and very good for skin as well. So I'm gonna start pouring my coconut milk in this mango matcha. Now let's add our other ingredients. The next one is organic jaggery. I'm using jaggery here because it gives me a good mix of dosha balancing. Jaggery is Vata Pitta balancing in moderation. It can aggravate kapha a little bit if used excessively, but it is also warming in nature. So for Pitta people, it's not the ideal form of sugar. For Pitta people, coconut sugar can also be used. But I personally feel this is already a cooling drink, so I'm gonna add a little bit of jaggery to this. Alright, I'm taking raw jaggery, about 1 teaspoon, and mixing it with my mango base. For those who like their drinks naturally flavored, prefer non-sweetened drinks, jaggery is an exception. You can either skip it or keep it depending on what your taste is, because mango is already there to sweeten your drink. But some people do like to have flavor in their coconut milk as well. That's why I'm adding only 1 teaspoon of jaggery. You can add to taste. Now let's start with the magic ingredient of our matcha today, which is caffeine free, is moringa. This particular drink is tridoshic balancing in nature, and we're balancing it with putting different ingredients. Coconut milk, mango being a little Vata Pitta balancing, we're going to start adding moringa, which is a lot more warming and a lot more tikshna. That means very sharp in nature. So I'm going to take about 2 teaspoons, which is my daily dose of moringa, into this drink. I'm going to put 1 here, 1 here, going with the next one. If you want, you can stick to 1 or 1.5 teaspoon. That is also enough to give you the effect. Now our next ingredient is cardamom or elaichi, which is a very famous flavoring agent in India and Indian dishes, but many people don't realize how therapeutic it is. Cardamom is Sheet Virya, that means cooling in nature, has a Madhur Vipak, that means a sweet post-digestive taste, and is excellent for digestion, cough, cold, asthma, and is useful in improving your circulation as well. It is Vata Anuloman, that means it expels any excess Vata sitting in your system, and that is why to balance this drink, which can be a little cold in nature, we're going to put cardamom as well. I'm going to take about 4 to 5 pods of cardamom in this. I'm going to take out all the leaves. We don't need the leaves, we need only the seeds. Now that the cardamom is ready, almost in a powder form, I'm going to garnish my drink with this. I'm going to start sprinkle it on top of this moringa matcha latte. Alright, so the last step of this drink is adding a touch of something that is also warming. Because this drink has coconut milk and all the sweet stuff, kapha people or those people who have a little bit of lethargy in the system might feel a little more lethargic with this drink. So I'm going to add an exceptional item in this drink which you can choose to put or not put. This is your very own mint leaves. Most people think that mint actually is cooling, but it really is not. Mint is quite warming to you. It's a great digestive, it's a great carminative, and if you have digestion issues, adding mint to your meals or to your chutneys can actually enhance your digestion. So I'm just going to put about 1 leaf of mint in this whole drink because I'm a Pitta predominant body type. I really don't need that much. I could use the cooling of coconut milk and the sweetness, which also is cooling in nature. But for those who are trying to lose weight, adding mint is very, very important. Now is the final step where we're going to finalize what our matcha is going to look like. This recipe is also a full meal. So in case you're trying to look for healthier options to replace your meals, this is a great addition during daytime. It's great for people who are Pitta predominant, perfect for them. A little okay for Vata predominant people, and not so okay for Kapha predominant people. However, it is still Tridoshik in nature because we've tried to balance out the negatives of all by adding herbs and spices. Let's prepare our plate. My matcha is ready to be served. Now I'm going to try this Tridoshik Moringa Mango Matcha, which is caffeine free, heals your gut, stops inflammation, and also nourishes and gives your body the energy that it needs. I have made a sampler which is more than probably 300 ml. But if you have guests coming at home and this is festive season, you can also try creating mango moringa matcha shots, which can be as little as 100 ml. That is also a good way to incorporate moringa in your life. Now I'm going to taste this. So good. I love the flavor of mango mixing with it. The coconut milk, the way it sets on your tongue, it's just the best combination. If you'd like to put more cardamom or more jaggery, I'm not a big fan of extra sugar in my drinks, you can, but this tastes perfect just the way it is. That was the end of our episode, creating a Tridoshik drink for you, which is caffeine free and anti-inflammatory. If you like our videos, do subscribe to our channel. Here we end Fix Your Ahar for today. Remember, let food energize you, let food heal you. That is what Ayurveda is all about. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy.